Good morning, everybody. WildDucati here, heading up to Eurocycles of Tampa Bay for the Valencia watch party, the season finale of MotoGP Premier Series, or Premier Class, excuse me. Now, this is probably one of the most highly anticipated MotoGP races of recent years. We got the big showdown between Lorenzo and Rossi after what happened at Malaysia with Rossi and Marquez, and also what happened with them at Assen. And I guess a little bit of time on our hands right now with the thoughts on the whole scenario. So basically, everybody's seen, you know, that you've been following what's been going on. If you've been paying attention to, you know, these recent events with Dorna and with which is the race authority, Spanish Racing Authority, with these two, Rossi and Marquez, and them going at it in their qualifying, but also after you know, Marquez pretty much, you know, I would say blocked Lorenzo. But regardless of what happened, all right, so Rossi having, you know, pretty much, you know, pretty much in position for those corners that he was in, and Marquez pushing it and then coming into contact with him first. You know, there was the first contact with the helmet on the back left side of Rossi, and then Rossi's leg, whatever it did, if he kicked him, I mean, then it's Rossi's fault. He can't be doing that, man, and he knows that, and I'm sure he's, you know, feeling regret because of it. I think he even said that he regrets, you know, whatever happened. Or if his leg got caught and he was just shaking it off to try and get his leg free of whatever, you know, came in contact with the bike. Maybe it got, you know, a little hung up in a fairing or something like that. Because both angles show kind of two different stories. One angle shows that Rossi kicked him. Right, like some straight out of Mission Impossible, checking the motorcycle guy off the cliff type move. And then the other angle shows that it kind of like looks like his leg gets dragged back, and then he brings it back up to the rear set. So it's really hard to tell. I mean, only those two really know what happened, and they're really not speaking on it. So that makes me think that Rossi's kind of in the right, because if Marquez is, you know, if he's not saying like, oh, he kicked me and this is messed up and all that, and he's causing a ruckus because of it, well, then it shows that Marquez is also at fault. Do I think they're both at fault? Yes. Do I think that Rossi should start at the back of the pack because of that? No. I think they should both start at the back of the pack, because you've got to respect what is going on with that sport. You've got to understand that that kind of action is unacceptable, because that can mean people's lives. And that's point blank. That's it, right there. You can't be doing that. Race your race and do the best you can. That's the sport. Not this, I mean, we're not talking, it's not, you know, yes, it's a contact sport, we know that. But at the same time, I mean, you can't be, you know, intentionally trying to, you know, check somebody into a corner, or like, you know, what Marquez tried to do earlier in the season. I forget which race it was, with him coming in and then kind of like swiping the back tire of Rossi, and it really fucked Marquez up because he's the one who went down. But that's just Marquez. Marquez is that kind of a rider where he's, I mean, yeah, he's young, and he had a heck of a year last year, and because of that, I think he's got a little, you know, a little ego boost, or whatever you want to call it, a little confidence underneath his seat, between the legs. So there's that too, and he's kind of got like the young gun attitude towards things, and you can't knock him for that. You know, that was like, you know, Biaggi and Rossi, that they were those, you know, it was like that kind of rivalry where Rossi was a young guy and he was coming up, and you know, already had some championships. So what do I think? I mean, if anything, put the three out there. Put Lorenzo, Marquez, and Rossi. Let them run their own race and see who's the best. Of course, that's never going to happen, because there's, you know, 19 other or some riders. But do I think that he should get pushed to the back of the pack because of that? No, that's not fair. I mean, if you're going to knock Rossi, you've got to knock Marquez down to either in points or, you know, through some kind of you know, point deduction, or put him to the back of the pack as well. Do I think that Rossi, you know, this is all before the race. You know, I'm heading up right now to go watch it. So, do I think that, you know, Rossi should start the back of the pack alone? No, I think that they're knocking him for that. But at the same time, I've got faith, and I hope that he, you know, it's really going to come down to Rossi's going to place great, like first, second, third, or Rossi's going to crash out because he's going to push it, and he kind of has to. He's really got everything to lose, and so because of that, you know, that's going to determine how he's going to ride today. And hopefully he's got his head on his shoulders. He's got a, you know, a good pre-race, you know, kind of mindset, and you know, best of luck to him. I'm honestly more of a fan of Rossi than Marquez. You know, just because I think that, you know, I think Rossi's a better rider. I'm sorry, I think he's a more technical rider. I think Marquez is probably at this point in the game, I think Marquez may be a bit of a better rider than Rossi, but that he pushes it too much. He's got that too much of a young gun attitude, and it catches up with him. Whereas Rossi doesn't have that kind of an attitude. I think he's got more of a technical, hence the doctor, more of a analytical riding style, and that's what really gets him up there in the points. Now, that being said, I mean, it's anybody's game. I think Lorenzo's going to peel off in the front and probably leave everybody else out there, like he does in most races, like he did at Malaysia. Yes, I think that might very well happen. Lorenzo's an amazing racer. You really, you know, you can't say anything else besides that. But we'll see what happens, because I'm now just about to pull in here, so let's get some breakfast and watch the race, and I'll give you my post-race review.